When you think about the weird and wonderful world of webcomics, the first ones to cross your mind are probably the typical Tower of God, God of High School, and Solo Leveling. Whilst all of these shows are great in their own right and deserve all the popularity they enjoy, I want to share with you one of the best, lesser known webcomics that I've found: Dimensional Mercenary. When you think about your typical anime or manga MC, they usually share a lot of the same traits: strong moral compass, grand goal and aspirations, or an abnormal level of perversity. 30-year-old freeloader Chul Ho Kang has virtually none of these. The audience is thrown into a depressing life of our protagonist, with a deadbeat dad, useless sister, hospitalized mother, and the only guy he ever called a friend having scammed him and left him buried in debt. His character design isn't overly special at all, though he does have one amazing ability which we'll get to later on. Okay, without spoiling too much of the plot, allow me to speedrun the basic gist of the series. Desperate to find a job, Ho Kang literally sells his soul, yes, his literal damn soul, to find a job. Turns out there's a company that exchanges and trades souls, and now he's employed under them. Ho Kang's new job is to enter the lives of several deceased clients from different dimensions to complete an event in their life or fulfill a regret. Okay, stay with me here. I know this sounds like an isekai, but I promise it's worth it, okay? Each client's missions are ranked based on difficulty by the company, and Ho Kang is paid in real money or XP accordingly. Where the show shines the most is in these missions. At the start of each one, Ho Kang is flooded with the entire life, memories, and emotions of the clients. As both Ho Kang and we, the audience, have no idea what the next client will be like, we are thrown headfirst into an entirely new set of problems and experiences each time. Here it makes sense that Ho Kang's character design is uninspiring by choice, juxtaposing these absolutely saucy clients with their ridiculously tragic backstories. All the clients want is to see how the outcome in their lives would have been if their problems had been handled differently. Most of these problems are not ones that require brute strength and force. In fact, Chul Ho Kang is restricted anyway by the physical limits of his client's body. In order to achieve his goals, therefore, he has to use his brain. Okay, so you know how the anime community roasts Naruto's Toku no Jutsu as being a convenient plot device that basically involves him guilt-tripping his enemies into submission? Dimensional Mercenary uses this concept and polishes it to absolute perfection. Let me explain. It's in his exchanges with the many other characters that Chad Ho Kang is forced to go big brain and use all the knowledge at his disposal to either manipulate, blackmail, draw pity, or force others to do what he wants that separates him from other typical MCs. This isn't easy, however, as for once the side characters possess the power of common sense and reasoning, and one slip of the tongue could easily lead to a mission failure. If you're tired as hell from the typical trope of the MC being the idiot who can't even understand basic exposition, then Ho Kang will definitely be a breath of fresh air. He brings a nice balance of not being overly righteous or completely sociopathic. It's always amazing to see how he gets his way using his silver tongue, but what's even more impressive is how this always works realistically in line with the plot. The author makes the reader clearly aware that the experiences Ho Kang accumulates over his missions also changes him as a person and twists his sense of right and wrong. Though most of the series spends time inside the mission, each time Ho Kang finishes one or pauses the mission midway, we get to see how he has changed and grown. The story continues to increase in depth and progresses outside of the missions to the point where you are just as invested in Ho Kang's own life. I really couldn't think of any moments where I thought, oh, just get back into the mission already, man, but instead wish the story would focus even more on Ho Kang himself. Easily one of the best aspects of this series is the plethora of incredible side characters that behave in a realistic manner in the world around them. Even the more eccentric and unga bunga personalities are dissected with backstories to explain their complex nature. It reminds me of the style of character writing in One Piece, where characters' behaviors and actions almost always falls in line with their personalities as well as our prior knowledge about them. No character feels simple. Take Discover for example. This man is literally a side character, but he oozes MC vibes all over the place. Now let's talk about the art. I'm gonna be honest, it's no Solo Leveling, but but it's also no 7 Deadly Sins Season 4 either. The art starts off strong, but for some reason around the chapter 28th mark, I guess they couldn't afford the budget for the illustrator anymore and straight up settled for a worse one. As the chapters progress, however, the art style does gradually improve and will hopefully continue to follow this upward trend. Some of the later action scenes are drawn decently, with smoother coloring and better portrayal of light and shadows. Landscape, flora and fauna, and the general surrounding do lack detail. But maybe I'm just spoiled from too much solo leveling. Environmental destruction, on the other hand, does look adequately satisfying and gives a greater feeling of weight and impact to punches and strikes. The paneling isn't bad and gets the job done to promote a sense of continuation and ease of reading. The translation I was reading, 100% legally, was also done really well, and I have no complaints in that department either. Dimensional Mercenary is isekai done right. In less than 200 chapters, the level of character development and plot progression has been incredible, and the show is nowhere near finished either. I highly recommend you to give this one at least a chance. The show is separated into 4 chapters, one for each of the 4 missions so far. Be sure to like and subscribe guys, as I plan to continue digging up more fresh and exciting webcomic recommendations in the future. If you have any personal suggestions for ones you want me to read and cover, then please leave them in the comments down below. Have you read Dimensional Mercenary? Do you think you'll start now? Let me know, because I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Thank you for watching guys, this has been Lucid and I'll see you in the next video.